Shalom. First of all, excited by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and the boss of great millstone, likewise, brothers, putting on this truth. Faithfully fearlessly feeding the sheep unto brothers and sisters. Again, Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, Though He Pretend to Help Thee. And this is speaking about us. And he is Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man. Now, today I'm going to show you a series of video short clips concerning this last executive order that Trump signed, concerning, the removal of people off the streets here in Great Babylon, America, and forcing them into institutions. And, from the outside, to the ignorant populace here, this seemed like a good idea because what they're looking for is some type of relief from these encampments around their communities, people who are vagrants and people who, down and out here in Great Babylon, America, basically they're in the way of people that feel like they have something going for themselves here. In other words, they still have a job, a cafe to go to, and they look and frown upon those that are less fortunate than them or who has fallen on hard times, mainly the children of Israel, or so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos, who is the face of poverty here in Great Babylon, America. And what you're going to see with these two separate clips I'm going to show you is how you have the indifference of what should be done. On one hand, you have the federal government, which is, headed by Donald Trump, looking to put this in place. And we're going to go into scriptures because you can never trust the devil. And then you have, this Kike Newsom, who's the governor of California, speaking against it or ridiculing it, calling it a pony show. Okay. And when you look at the fact that California is the main focus of this, executive order because of the population size and the fact that California is very diverse with a lot of Hispanic and Latinos and so-called blacks and Native Americans. And you can see that he don't really want any intervention of things or of trying to improve things there, which they're not going to improve. This is not about that. So without further ado, let's take a look at this video.
President Trump signs an executive order on homelessness that puts the priority on placing people in treatment. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. This directive involves taking aim at what the Trump administration considers to be the root causes of homelessness.
CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez is here in studio to explain. Esmeralda?
Well, that's right. Now, the president's executive order aims to move homeless individuals off the streets and into treatments or facilities. It allows for involuntary commitment when needed, especially for those who are at risk to themselves or others, by changing legal rules. It's an ongoing challenge cities across the country are met with, helping people experiencing homelessness off the streets. Today, the president signed an executive order intended at addressing this issue with several key steps. It directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to reverse rules that limit municipalities' abilities to relocate homeless people. It also redirects federal resources to ensure people are sent to facilities for rehabilitation and substance abuse to get the treatment they need. San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond applauds the executive order.
I'm ecstatic. I mean, finally, we're going to get to the root causes of homelessness. I'm hopeful that the state of California and the governor say, hey, we'll take your help, federal government. We'll take your dollars. We'll build mental health facilities. We'll put in the right treatment centers. We'll change from a housing first to treatment and care.
I'm not interested in funding failure anymore. I'm not. I won't. Time to do your job. People are dying on their watch. Dying on their watch. Look at these encampments. They're a disgrace. They've been there years and years and years and years. I've heard that same rhetoric for years. People are dying.
That new executive order from the president aimed at making it easier for cities and states across the country to remove homeless people from the streets. We want to get straight to that language of the order from the White House so you can see a little bit of it for yourself. It says it is targeted at removing, quote, vagrant individuals from our streets and redirects federal funds towards programs that tackle substance abuse. This order seeking to shift federal grant funding to states and cities that enforce prohibitions on urban camping, enforce prohibitions on drug use, and adopt policies allowing people with serious mental illnesses or substance abuse disorders to be forced into treatment.
This new executive order directs cities and states to take whatever actions necessary to get homeless people off city streets and into treatment centers. The president is also directing his administration to prioritize the cities all across the country that are already enforcing bans on public camping, drug use, and squatting. Solving homelessness across America has been a central issue for years. There were some 771,000 homeless men, women, and children living on city streets in 2024, an increase of about 18% from the previous year. More than a third of that total actually live out on the street. Some cities have already taken steps to restrict homelessness in America. They're the ones marked in red on this map and are just a few examples of places the president says he's going to prioritize, like Los Angeles, Seattle, and Albuquerque. Those that are marked in blue have not created restrictions, including Chicago, New York, Philly, and New Orleans. But this battle to get a handle on the crisis is nuanced and widespread all across the country. In Portland, city council meetings have ended in shouting matches as citizens have complained about not feeling safe on their own streets thanks to rampant and widely open drug use and alcoholism. In Denver, a park literally on the grounds of the state capitol building sees regular police activity from loitering, littering, and crime. And then in D.C., our nation's capital, a battle simmers between President Donald Trump and Mayor Muriel Bowser over homeless encampments, including some outside the White House. At the very same time, a task force has cleaned up more than 500 tons of trash and debris left behind since the fall. This executive order follows a recent Supreme Court ruling that says...
And as you saw in those videos, okay, a lot of drama here in Great Babylon, America. And for a lot of Jakes, you know, they're hinging their future on the words that's coming out of this devil's mouth. But let's go into the scriptures and let's delve into why the problem is here, that they're trying to pretend as if they're helping the people that are impacted by it. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 12 and starting verse 16. It reads, "An enemy, which is Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood." This is just another avenue of approach, okay? Another strategic approach to basically do what Esau has been fantasizing for thousands of years, these Edomites, and that is to eliminate Jake, eliminate the 12 tribe of Israel. And right now, they see a way that they can go. They allow, okay, all of the problems to fester, okay? The unemployment, the economic downthrow of Great Babylon, America, which is being engineered. We know the Lord Yahweh Shemashai controls everything in the universe, but on the face of it, you know, here on earth and here in Great Babylon, America, okay, these men, okay, have been set up in authority to rule over the masses. And you can see that they have not done a good job at managing the earth that they were given. Continuing on, it says, "If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hand and whisper much and change his countenance." Now, let's take a look at why there's a lot of adversity. When you look at homelessness, that's an adversity you're in, okay? Joblessness, okay? You have drug addiction, and you have incarcerations. Because if you're homeless, okay, you're jobless, and you're addicted to drug, most likely you will commit crime, okay? Any one of those, you know, you have going for you can cause you to commit some type of crime. And we know when it comes to Jakes, okay, so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, especially the Negro, any type of crime that you commit, what they consider crime, okay, can have you incarcerated, Now they talk about taking jakes and moving jakes off the street and forcing them into these institutions for help, forcing them for help. Okay, and this isn't something new that's been going on. Okay, Esau them, they knew what they were doing when they engineer the problems in our society. And for you jakes, you know, who think that maybe you can have some relief with this, you've been marching since the 60s. Okay, since the 60s in regards to this. So you see, Esau's been setting this all up. You know, he has his penal system, you know, his myriad of laws, you know, and all of this is to trap jakes. He creates the problems and then try to offer the solution. But the solution that he's offering is wicked, because we understand, okay, that this man absolutely hates the children of Israel. In fact, when we go into the book of Genesis 27 and 41, and this is always to remind the hard-headed jakes out there, the stubborn jakes out there, you know, who are bound and determined to have their head up their monkey ass, coming up against the men that are trying to save your life, to letting you know our job is to blow the trumpet, to blow the horn, the warning. The sword is coming. Okay? The sword is coming. And this man is the one that's wielding the sword. This is Genesis 27:41. It reads, and Esau had hated Jacob because of the blessing within his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then I would slay my brother Jacob. What other better way than to pretend that you're helping the children of Israel? Okay? Now you might say to yourself, okay, I see some, white looking people inside there too. Well, hey, Jacob is is a speckled bird. They could possibly be Hebrew Israelites. And if they're not, well, they're two-time losers. Either way, it emphasizes that, he that is evil to himself, to whom would he be good? Okay, roughly paraphrasing here, proving that the so-called white man is the devil. If he's going to ignore the distress of his own people, how much more so the people that he hates? I just read it to you, Genesis 27:41. Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white race, the so-called white people, the people that are in control of this earth right now, okay, they hate the 12 tribe of Israel. Okay, let's go into the book of Psalms 10 and 8, and it reads, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privy set against the poor. He lied in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draw them in his net. Promises, 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 promises. And Esau, when he says it, when it comes out of their mouth, it's believable because they have the ability to do it. I mean, when you turn on the television and just anything you look at, and you look at the magnificent sculptures and the magnificent technological advancement and everything that's on this earth, who's the face of those things? Edomites. Okay, Esau. So this is why people worship this man as like he's a god. Okay, now he's telling you if you go to school, you're gonna get a nice job. Well, jakes are now debt-ridden. Jakes are now debt-ridden. Esau puts a particular way you should walk around in society. Nice flashy cars. You should get a house. Jake's going to attempt to get these things, or Jake attempt to try to live like the oppressor. Okay, which is why the scripture will tell you, don't envy the oppressor and follow on his ways. Don't envy the oppressor, because you can't match the rich man. The rich man is a so-called white man. And these are all the type of things that he sets up that Jakes get trapped in. So here you have it right now. Millions of Jakes are about to go on the streets. Millions of Jakes are already on the streets. This isn't something new, okay? This isn't something new. And now he's about to send his sentries, okay, to go and basically round up Jakes. Basically round up Jakes. Simultaneously, think about it. He's looking to do this at the same time that he's rounding up so-called illegal immigrants. So who's to say he doesn't take Jakes off the street who's a American-born citizen, down on their luck, maybe sitting on the bench or laying on the bench for the night, whatever the case is, like sleeping in their car, whatever, and turn around and put them in these internment camp, or put them down in Alligator Alcatraz, or whatever the hell they want to put them on those C-17 and drop them off in the ocean. So we can see here, this man has come up with a lot of different ways in which he is going to fulfill that promise that he had in his heart, in his evil heart, pursuing to Genesis 27:41, which is he's going to pursue the children of Israel, and he's going to try to murder all of us. Okay, let's go into the book of Romans 9:21. Starting verse 21, it reads, "Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and not unto dishonor?" We are honor, Esau is dishonor. What if power willing to shew his wrath, and to make his power known, endure with much suffering, long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Esau is going to feel that wrath. He's going to get that wrath because he is created to be destroyed, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessel of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory, which is what we're going to get. The Lord is going to show us mercy. Okay, we have the heavenly kingdom to get, something that is above and beyond our imagination, how wonderful it's going to be. So yeah, we're enduring these long afflictions. Okay, and Esau is allowed to do exactly what he's going to do because he's fitted for destruction. Okay, so you can't trust this man. Okay, he's always looking to kill you. He pretends like he helped, but he's always looking to kill you. Okay, but the thing that you can see right now, which we are very thankful for to Yahweh Bashmi Ashai, is he's in that fall. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 12. It reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which does weaken the nations? For thou said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of power." Esau is not interested in helping Jakes. He's not interested in even helping his own people. He's interested in exalting himself. He wants to be like the Most High. AI technology, you have the brain chips and all those things right there. Okay, and right now the big buzz right now is just AI, 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 AI. Okay, this is what he's concentrating on, that new world order. So you need less people, less resistance. Get the people out of the way that you find useless or you don't like or you hate, you know. And he's trying to do it in such a way that it seems like it's nice. And you heard that Edomite, he acts like it, you know, he goes, "Oh, this is a good thing." You know, well, y'all knew about this. Y'all knew about this. Y'all seen it. How many empty buildings are sitting around here in Great Babylon, America, that could host people? You created the drugs, the problems. Okay? It said, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend to heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power. I will sit also upon the mount of congregation, the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High." And you can see where he's going into those technology. He wants a heart, soul, and mind of everybody. He wants to see, be everywhere. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, "Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners?" So when Esau fall, when Yahushua returns and decimates the kingdoms of Esau, okay, and Esau is humiliated, okay, in front of the whole world and put into slavery, where he's going to be abused and treated like horrible crap for 1,000 years. And yes, they will die and regenerate over and over again to the same misery. Okay, the other tribes will see, okay, they will look at the smoke of the destruction of Great Babylon, America, which is a symbol of the power of the Edomites, the so-called white man. They will see the state of these Edomites under, okay, Jakes, and they will go, "Damn," because he's going to be in a real sad state. So at the end of the day, though he pretend to help thee, watch out for this doggone devil. Never trust thine enemy. Lord willing, the elect that goes by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.